So in today's video, I'll be talking about everything about Photoshop. So I'm going to be taking them step by step. I'm not going to say all today. So I'll take it one step at a time. So first thing first, you have your Photoshop already installed. Your system can take as much as Photoshop. Like in mine, I have a Photoshop 2021, I have 2022, I have 2023. The only advice I would say is that some of them recently may not allow you to turn it on when may not allow you to make use of them when the internet is on. Especially these recent ones, these 2023, 2022 versions, but 2021 might allow you to do so. For those of you that are using the cracked version. So coming to this now, what next am I going to do? Before I open the software, let me use this Photoshop to open a particular image. So let's look at my downloads. So let's look at this image. Assuming I want to open this image with my Photoshop, I can just say let's click and say open with Photoshop 2021. So I'll allow it to load. So coming up, this is my Photoshop loading or opening. So let's wait for a while. Yes, yes. So this is it. This is exactly what I have. This is my image as opened in Photoshop 2021. So coming to this now, you have the following in your Photoshop now. You have this area, this section known as the toolbar. Toolbar, tool like Tool, bar toolbar. And this place is known as your menu bar. This section is known as your menu bar. And this section is known as your option bar. So this option bar simply means that this any tool you select, the options will come up. So let's say I select this tool, which is the known as the move tool. And anytime you hover around, if you don't know the name of the tool, just hover around the tool. Just hover around it, you'll see the name. And sometimes they will give you, not most times, sometimes, most times they will give you hints or give you learn more for you to learn how the tool is being used. And even they will give you the shortcut, which is L. So let's start with the first one. The first one I have move tool, and you can see the shortcut is V. Press the letter V, it goes to your move tool. So they say moves a selection or layer. So this one has to do with movement. If you want to move any selection, if you want to move any layer, so use your move tool to do that. It's all about moving. So you can learn more about it. Now you will discover that coming to this move tool, we have another flyout, as in you have a drop down here. It's either you press and you hold, you see other options, or you right click on it, you see other options. The move tool, you have the artboard tool. Now this one is not on artboard at all. This is just the move tool that we have here now. Now coming to this one, we have other tools here, but I cannot explain other tools with time. I cannot explain all the tools. So with time, I will explain all of them. So just bear it in mind that we have what you call the move, we have what you call the toolbar, we have what you call the menu bar. So we also have what you call the option bars for you. This is exactly what you need to take note of. So I have my image opened here. This is my image open. Now coming to this section is known as the canvas. This section is known as the canvas. Now your own interface may not look like mine. And if yours is not looking like mine, what will you do? You just quickly come to this section. After the search bar, the next bar you will see where you have essential. You see this essential, you can click on reset essential. Your own might just come up like this, just reset essential, just reset essential. You have something like this. Now sometimes this has various meaning. It depends on what you're working on. You want to work on 3D, you just want to put it on 3D. It will just inform you this pop-up will come up, and what's going on? Going on. So what's going on here? Okay. So that is for the 3D. Okay. Let's say window. Okay, it's on 3D now. Let's say essential. What are you now? That on 3D. So essential. Okay, workspace. Okay. So let's go over to the workspace. essential, which is the default. But you observe one thing, when I clicked on my 3D, I discovered that this seems not to be coming up again. So the only thing I did was that if I want to reset them, because all these things that I have here, I can easily find them on this window. Everything is contained at the window button. So I went to my window, I looked out for my workspace. I have my essential, I have 3D, we have graphics, we have motion, we have paint, we have this reset 3D, and so on. So you look at this first section, which has to do with essential 3D, graphic and web, motion, painting, and photography. If you are going for graphic and web, you can go click on this. But basically, we don't normally use Photoshop or graphic and web. There is a particular software for it, which is known as Figma. Motion, though Photoshop does motion, but After Effects does it better. Painting, you can use illustration for do that, though Photoshop does that, but Illustrator can do better, or even CorelDRAW. Then photography, you can use your Lightroom for it, though this can also do. So it has those features in it. So coming to this one now, I have my essential. That this pop up, all these things here now, I can still see them here. I see all these things here, essential, and I can still say reset essential. Now I have all these things here. All these things here can be moved around. You can move them around. Like I can move them around. I can, let's say I need a more space and I'm not making use of this color. I can just click, hold, left click, hold, and drag it until I see something that comes up. Let's say blue color. No, I didn't get it properly. Let's press Ctrl Z. No, Ctrl Z is not working. Let's drag it again. I'll see particular color. I'm looking for a way to dock it. Okay, I want to dock it here. You see, I'm seeing this blue color. I've already placed it here. So likewise, your swatches, click your swatches, drag it. You see this blue color, you dock it inside that place. Gradient, the same thing. I'm not making use of my gradient. Click and drag it inside this place. Then this one, you can also click and okay, pattern. I got it wrong somewhere else. So I can click it and drag it inside this place and dock it inside this place. Now, assuming I don't want to make use of these things, I can easily close them. So for me to close, I'll right click and say close, close. Then I can also right click and say close. I can also right click and also say close. I can also right click and close them. I just want you to play around with all these things. Then if I want to open them back, you just go over to your window. You see all this your color. You see the color, that's color. You can also see your patterns. You see your patterns. Every other thing that you close, you can also see your swatches. All those things that you close, you see it around here. Then if you want them to automatically come up again, I think the only thing you just say reset essential, they will just come up here again. So that's what we are going to do basically. But to me, to create more space, I don't make use of this color. Since I don't make use of this color, what I normally do is I dock it inside. Look at the way I dock it is you click, drag, I dock it inside this place, inside this area. I just click and dock it inside this place to create more space. It's either I dock it inside this place or I close it close it totally. And easily right click and close it totally, because I actually do not need it. You see, this properties panel has to do with any tool that I select, it has to give me the property of that tool. I'm at move to, and this interface, this layer is selected, this layer that is selected. I'm seeing the properties that it has. Now, assuming I want, because this property now that I'm seeing here currently is the property of this canvas that I'm seeing right now. Because coming to this now, let me show you something. Assuming I have, okay, let's look at this layer now. Okay, this layer is selected. The layer that is selected has to do with the canvas that is selected. So assuming I just want to change this canvas, let's say I don't want it to look a portrait this way. I think I can easily do this now. Say the new canvas size is smaller than the current size. Say proceed. I've already changed the orientation. You see the way I changed the orientation. So I changed the orientation from the canvas. Assuming I was working at a particular canvas size and probably I do not want the, you see it's even written here canvas. It's also written here canvas. So assuming I just want to change the canvas from portrait to landscape, I can just click here. I can also return it back, say proceed. I can also return it back, but you know too well that if you're changing all these things, it basically might affect your designs and everything that you input in it. It's possible that it's going to affect it. So I'm only just show you how this really works. So let's say let me change the width of this. Let's say this is in inches. Let's say I have a 45. Let's say 50 by 50. I'm just changing my canvas and automatically also changing. See, I'm changing my canvas, and my canvas is also changing as well, changing. So I'm just showing you. Then I can also change the color mode of the RGB. I can also change it from here. This is for my canvas. Assuming I'm working on, I just want to change some things in the canvas. Now coming to this canvas, I've already showed you how to work on this, and also the color change. Then the background, you see the background color is okay. This background color is grayed out. So you see the ruler guide that I have here, my ruler is in inches. I can change it to pixels. It's automatically going to change it to pixels. I'm talking about the canvas if I want to change the canvas. But sometimes I want to advise you to do these changes here because it's going to assume you've done a lot of work and you're changing all these things. It's going to affect you. Just this process is only good when you've not started any work, like when it's an empty canvas that has nothing on it. Yes, you can do all those things. Always cool if you want to do all those things there. So coming to this now, I have my ruler. My ruler, I see bent L form like this. So this is my ruler, and this my ruler currently now is in pixels. The measurement is in pixels. If I want to change it to centimeters, I can also change it to centimeters as well. I can also change it to millimeter, whereby this place is here 0. Here is your zero. Here is your 200 millimeter, and here is about 1200 millimeter, and so on. Likewise, here, if you take here now, you see here is your 0, and here is your 200 millimeter, and so on as well. That is for your ruler. I can also change my ruler to this. I can change it to degree system. Assuming I want the ruler to be in a grid system, I can also change it to grid system. I can change it to check pause. Okay, let's remove the grid system. Let's try. Okay, the other one has to do with the check pause, right? Yeah. Okay. So okay. So let's leave it at. So at the same time, assuming my ruler is off, I can easily turn on my ruler here, or can turn on my ruler here, or I can go to my ruler. My I can go to my Windows. I think is it a rulers? So at Windows or edit. Okay, one of the places. Okay, I think okay under view. Yes, view. Under view, you see your rulers as well. You can also see your ruler as well at your view. So this is exactly where you're going to see your ruler. So these are all that you need to know under for properties. Just these properties has to do with each layer. Each of this layer has their property. Anything that you're assuming, I have my shape like this. Let's say I drew a shape like this. For instance, I drew my shape like this. This shape that I have now, the property of the shape will come up. These are the properties of this shape. This is the property. You see the size, you see the color, you see the fill, you see the border. Does it has border? It has border. See, the border is kind of a bit round. So you see 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 10 pixels. So you see Pathfinder and everything. It has to do with this property. So this is exactly what you need to know. So this property, from this property, you can change anything. You can do anything like the angle and so I'm still going to come back to this property panel in details. I just want you to have an idea of what this property panel is all about. So that is why I just brought it up. So what I'm going to do is, most times I don't okay, I think I make use of this property panel. So what I'm going to do is, let me just lock it in here, because look at the icon, the way it's going to look like, and if you hover around these icons, it will basically tell you the names of this icon. Let's look at it. See, this one has to do with Ultimate Retouch, which is a particular plugin that I'm using in my system. That is Ultimate Retouch. With time, I'll also show you how to add plugins to your Photoshop that will enable you to do your job faster and more neater. So you have the next one now. You see this history. You see, look at the history. History has to do with this. This is your history. All the things that I've done, open, canvas size, everything that I've done. It has to come up here. That's it. So if I want to restore any of them, I can just click on those things. It will restore back to the initial state of the initial state. Now, this is my property. You see this property panel comes up again. Look at it. This is my property panel again. So coming to this one, I have the next one known as my adjustment. Yes, I make use of this adjustment very, very well. This adjustment, it has to do with what you call the first one. The first one you're going to see is your brightness and contrast. The second one has to do with your levels. The third has to do with your curve. The next has to do with exposure, then vibrance, hue and saturation, color balance, then black and white. What again? I have a photo filter. Then what again? Channel mixer. Then I have a color lookup. Then I have an invert. Then I have posterize. Then I have a threshold. I have a graduate map. And I also have a selective color and graduate map. Now this adjustment, always you see. Let me just bring it down. Let me just add it there. Look at this icon. Look at the icon of this adjustment. So which means automatically the adjustment icon. You can also bring it down. You can also see it here. Look at it here. See it. Look at this is adjustment. So assuming this adjustment icon or this adjustment is not showing up, you can also come and view it here. Everything here. You can see brightness, levels, exposure, vibrance, everything. Threshold. You can see all those you can see all those adjustments down. You can view all those adjustments. Everything about the adjustment you can also view it down. But assuming I close it, let's say I have it closed. I can also make use of it from here. But assuming I want to open it in my window, I can also go over. Assuming I want to open it here, I can also go to my window. Then I'll look for adjustment. I'll click on adjustment because it's not selected. The only thing, anything that is selected here comes up around here, shows up here. So assuming, okay, libraries, okay, look at this library now. Assuming I uncheck this, the library goes off. So anyone I uncheck goes off. So coming to this adjustment, assuming I click on adjustment comes up again. Now sometimes look at the way it came up. It came up with this kind of arrow. So which I can click to collapse. I can also click it to expand. I can also click it to collapse. I can move them around. Remember that anything you can just left, hold and drag it to anywhere you want. As me, you want it here, you can leave it here. You could just click on this arrow, it comes up this way. Click on this arrow, it collapses. Or you can click on this arrow, it closes. That is the way you can use your um, the, so this is where you can use it. Now coming to this now, I have the following. I've already showed it. So we have path. Most times I don't make use of path. So let me just close it. Channels. For now I'm not going to explain to you how to make use of channels. There are scenarios when you want to make some kind of selections. So you need to pick a particular color out of the background. So that's when you now start talking about channels. So for now, we are not making use of channels. So the basic thing that we'll need for this Photoshop, the basic thing that we need is the toolbar, the menu bar, the option bar. These are the basic things that we need. So the first thing I advise you to do is make sure you just close all those ones that are unnecessary, that I just asked you to close for now. With time, when we need all those things now, you can also open them up. Look at this effect. This one has to do with these blending options. It has to do with all the effects and the blending options. You have the blending option, you have the bevel, stroke, inner. It has to do with what you call the blending options, bevel, stroke, inner shadow, satin, and so on. Drop shadows, you can find them here. You can also find them here. I think there's a way you can also find them by double clicking. Yes, 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 yes. Just if you double click this effect that you have here now, you can get effects on every layer by just come to this layer, because this layer now, if I want to go to this effect, these are the blending option, bevel and balls, and inner shadow, satin, color overlay, gradient, pattern, drop shadow, and so on. These are the things. So if I want to see this effect again, I can also go to this place and double click on it again. Double click, I will see this effect. These are the list, all those same effect, the blending option, the stroke, the inner shadow. This is another way I can also see them, and each of them, anytime I click on them, you see the property that comes up. initially you see the property that comes up. So with time, I'm going to show you how to make use of these things gradually. We're going to be using them gradually to see how you can easily apply them. So that is all for that particular one. So I have, like I told you before, this is my canvas. I have this is my canvas and this is my toolbar. Now this toolbar, I can collapse this toolbar to be double. Assuming I want it to be double, I can collapse it to be double. I can collapse it. I can also remove this toolbar by left click and dragging it to this place. Assuming I want to place it, I just want it to be handy. I just select my tools and this still depends on your choice. I can also return it back to the normal place it was before. So it depends on you. Now coming to this canvas now, this canvas that you've already opened now, the name of this canvas always come up. Assuming you've renamed it, you've done your renaming when you're opening it, you discover that this name will be renamed. So you see that this name of this canvas or this canvas is your WhatsApp image 2024. This is how I got it from. I just did right click and they also told me the mode. The mode is RGB and 8 bits. So that is the mode and also in 8 bit. So they just explain everything to you. They just explain everything that I need to know basically. So with time, we gradually need to go over this. So the first tip first, I've already explained to you how to know about this is now. So coming to this now, I left my layers behind. The reason why I left my layer is that layer is one of the major things. In fact, the major thing that you need to have on or have handy in your Photoshop is one, your layers panel. This is your layer panel, your layers panel. This is the first layer, this is the second layer, and everything is being stuck on top of each other. So this is the one that is below. This one is rectangle is on top. If I on it, you see the rectangle is on top. Then this one adjustment layer is on top. So this is your layer panel. So the next thing you need to work on is that need to be available on your system is your canvas. Normally, this is where you're going to work on your workspace, then your toolbar and your menu bar. Now, what I normally do, you discover that I can easily zoom in and I do my zooming in and zooming out using my scroll button. So if you want to do the same zooming in and zooming out as the way I do, the advice I'll give to you is go to edit, go to this edit, go down, even if your own is this preference is not showing and you saw an arrow, drop down arrow that say go down, click on it so that this preference comes up. And when this preference comes up, go to general, click on general, this general comes up. Now you go over to your workspace, you go over to your interface. Let's go look at interface. Interface has to do with, okay, this is the color you want it to be on a dark mode. Mine is on this place. Okay, let me leave mine on in a dark mode. Everything becomes dark. Every other thing, leave the setting as is. Now let's start from general. I think I would advise you to leave everything the way it is. This one, you leave it the way it is. Then a workspace, you leave it the way it is. Tools, now this is where you're going to do, click on tools. Yours might be, this place must be unchecked if you are using it for the first time. So this place must be unchecked. So I will advise you to check on this one so that you can use your scroll wheel of your mouse to zoom in and zoom out. So that's it. History log, mine is not showing up, but history log has to do with number of time this thing has to do with. Now coming to, I have a file handling, always save. I leave mine as always save in case if the system crashes or anything crashes. Exports, I have exports. Then I need you to come into this performance. Set this your performance here. Set your performance to 70%. To use 70% of your RAM. This has to do with my RAM. This is my RAM, my system RAM. So it has to do with it let you use available RAM to use about 70% of my RAM. I think my RAM is 12. I think is it 16 gig RAM? Because if I add up, you see my RAM. Then though my system has to make use of a dedicated graphics processor, you might not see this in your own. You might not see this in your own. So you see the interface, the UI depends on what you are using. Okay, coming to this history states now. Well, if your system is powerful enough, I would advise you to change this into like 100, like 100. Then if yours is not too well, you can leave it at less than 50 or the way it was. Then that's it, because this has to do with has to do with a number of times, like the number of times you can press your Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Assuming you make mistake and you are pressing your Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, the number of times you can press your Control Z to get exactly what you want. So mine, I can make mine up to 100 times. That's what I just did now. Scratch disk. This has to do with you selecting more disk in your system, more disk, so that it will help your Photoshop to be more functional. So it depends. I think I have this, I have the other one. So cursors, all these things you can, I'm going to leave it the way they are. Don't bother yourself with all this. Say okay. So that's it. So you can see when you check your scroll button, you see you can zoom in, you can zoom out with using your scroll button. Then you can, let's say, let's look at this now. Let's look at my efficiency. Yeah, my efficiency. If when you click on this small arrow that is here and you click on efficiency, if your efficiency is less than 100, then which means your system is lagging, or your Photoshop is lagging your system. So you need to set up all those things that I said, so that your efficiency will come up a little bit or come up to 100%, so that your system will work properly. So let's say the scratch sizes. Okay. Document size. The first one has to do with document size, document profile, document profile, document dimension. This is the dimension of this document. You can check, just be clicking and be see the name that comes up or whatever that measurement scale. They will show you that 1 pixel is equal to what it's all about, and scratch car and so on. So let me leave mine at okay, let's say layer count 3 layers. Actually, just tell you that you have 3 layers in this. Now you just want to know, or just assume you want to know your total layer, it will tell you your 3 layers. This is your 3 layers. So let me leave it at efficiency. So the first thing I normally do is, let me close this. It will ask me, do I want to save? No, I don't want to save it. So assuming I just want to open a particular work, let me just open this particular work that I've done before. You see, this is the work that I've done previously in this place. Let's say layer count. I have about 71 layers in this group, and 10 groups in this job. I have about 71 layers. So it's always advisable that anytime you're doing any job on Photoshop, you should normally rename, although I did some, I did not rename all these your layers, so that you can easily locate them when necessary. So let's say now let's open let me open this image and see how it goes. Okay, I've opened this image. Most times if I open an image, I always prefer, first of all, unlock this layer, unlock this background, then right click on it. I say convert to smart object. Convert to smart object. The reason why I'm converting to smart object is that so that I don't lose the quality. The stuff will not, in fact, the photo, the image will not lose its quality. And besides, I can double click on it and edit it at another window. This is another window, not the former window. I can just edit it in another window, which is quite different from the first one I had. So coming to this now, this is my layer now. I can move, assuming I can move it. You see, I can move because it's selected. My move tool is selected. And then I have my selection tool. I can just have my selection do so much that you see your matching art coming up. Selection has come up with a lot of things. There are a lot of options anytime you click on, because anytime you click on selection tool, you see this is ellipse selection tool. You see the first one that has to say with a new selection. The second one has to do with add selection. If you click on this add selection, click on it, it will add the selection. Besides, look at this closely very well. You discover that you discover that the icon is plus plus. So if I click on this, it will continue to add small selection plus plus. So but automatically what I normally do is, if I want to add selections, I always click on hold shift to automatically change it to that format that we enable it to do such. So I'll automatically do that. So then if I want to remove, I'll hold down alt, the thing will change to minus, so it will start removing. to start removing all the selections that I don't want. So I'll hold Alt to remove. So that's it. So, and this one is to remove. Look at it. This one is to add. This one is to remove. Then I think the last one has to do with intersection. Yes, intersect two selection. Let's say I have the first selection here. Assuming I have the first selection and I want to have another selection, if I click again, the first selection will disappear. So how do I handle this issue so that I will have two selections? I've clicked the first selection, I've done my first selection, I want to do my second selection, it goes off. So what do I do to make sure that the first selection remains? I'll hold down my shift before I do my second selection. You see that? So I hold down my shift before I do my second selection. So let's say I have something like this now, and I want to do intersection. You see the way the intersection just worked. Intersection, which means it's going to take a particular area. Let's say I clicked on this, so the one on top remains, the some part remains. Just play around to see how the intersection really works. So that is for the selection tool. So I'll still come back to these selections and explain fully how this selection, all the option that it comes up with, it, the feather, the style, the normal selection and mask. We need to know everything about it. So now we are just having a run through of how this really work, Now, assuming that you just did a job, assuming I just have I have this, then probably if I want to bring out another option, I can click on this and hold it before other options comes up. But the best way I normally do is I just right click. I don't have that kind of strength to keep all this. So what I normally do is I'll right click on it. I have this this now. Now I want to go back. For me to go back, depending on your own software, Photoshop, I'm using Photoshop 2021, but from 2018 backward, you cannot press Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. You cannot Ctrl Z to continue to go back. If you press Ctrl Z, the first one, if you press it, the second one, it could return back to the initial state. So what you normally do for the older version, you don't press Ctrl Z to continue to go back. Rather, you press Ctrl Alt Z, Alt, Ctrl Alt Z to do so. But for these newer versions from 2019, 2020, 2021, when you press Ctrl Z, it will continue to go back. You see all the selection, everything that I've done. It's going back to everything that I did. So I continue to press my Ctrl Z. So it keeps returning me back to everything that I did. So that is how I need to do that now. Okay, so now if I'm going to look at this now. Now, if I want any tool that I make use of and I want to drop that tool, I want to drop the tool, I'll just click on my move tool, or I'll press V, which is my move. It's going to drop that tool and return back to your to your move tool. Now, assuming my canvas is too small and I want it to fit to page, what do? I'll just press Ctrl 0. It's going to fit to page, Ctrl 0. It's going to, because I don't have that kind of time. I said, oh, let me just start adjusting it. Now I can just press Ctrl 0, it fits to 0. Then assuming I just want to move it around, hold down your space. Hold down space. Okay, this is locked. Hold down your space to move things around. Let's say, assuming I have something like this. No. I have this. Good. This has to do with it's supposed to be working now. What's going on? Anyway, I'll still find out what's wrong with that one. It's supposed to be working. The hand's supposed to be working to move things around. But no problem. So I can move this layer now. I'll still come back to this layer panel and explain everything about the player. So I'm just giving a run through of what you need to know in your Photoshop. So for now, only thing I needed to do is just play around. So the first task I needed to do now is you have to carry out the following things. First of all, go over to your Photoshop, create a new Photoshop site. So if you want to create a new file, or if you want to create a new file, just create new. Let's create a new file. I have recent, I have saved, I have photo, I have illustration, I have web, I have mobile, I have film, video, and so on. Okay, let's just say I left mine at recent. What is the name of the job that I want to? Let's say practice. If I didn't get this correct, please forgive me. So let's just put here 720 and let's put here to be 900. That's my canvas size. Here 72. Now pixels per inch is still remaining at orientation to the portrait. Don't check this your artboard. Make sure that your size is in pixels. 72 resolution per listen, RGB, 8-bit, white, and so on. Now just create, click on create. So the first task I need you to do is whenever you create this now, you're going to create shapes, various shapes. You have to create a various shapes. Now look at this, right click, create a various shape. You click on this. Now I've created this shape. This shape will come up with its property. Look at the properties of this shape. You see, look at this. This is a rectangular shape. This is what I did now, and it's on shape, not on path. There's a difference between path and shape. It must be on shape. Then it has fill. If I click on this, the fill will go off. It won't have any fill. Then it has no stroke. Stroke meaning outline. It has nothing like stroke. So I don't want it to have any stroke. So let's get this selected. Let's look at this selected. Okay, let's look at this selected. I've selected this, but the properties is no longer coming up here. It's no longer because I'm selecting my move tool. Assuming I select my shape tool, I'll just, assuming I select my shape tool, I'll see that same shape tool again. I can put the fill. Let's put the fill orange. Now coming to this now, I have the following. These are the following things I have. I have no outline. Then I have the size is to be this. Then the corner edges is at 10. I can also make it 0 and click enter. I can make it 0 and click enter. So that's the corner. But okay, it's okay. The angle is okay. Yeah. So let's see this. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. Oh, it's still having this edge. So let's look at this. Let's look at it at the properties. Properties. Let's go back and put this one to 0. So this has gone off. So the assignment I want you to do is you click on this shape tool. This is your shape tool. Then if I want to resize this my shape tool, I'll just press Ctrl T, or if you want to resize it, you can go over to your edits. You can go over to your edit. You go over to your editor and click on transform. Say transform. You can click on transform, or you can click on free transform. Ctrl T. That is Ctrl T or free transform. Whereby you can hold down this edge. Hold down this. You can see everything is going. Everything is resizing at the same time. If you don't want them for this Photoshop I'm using, there are some other older versions that if you do this, everything will not resize at the same time. So if you don't want them to resize at the same time, you just hold down your shift. Just hold down your shift. Hold down your shift. Hold down your shift. Even okay. So let's see. You see my smart guideline is coming up. Yes, this is my smart guideline is coming up to show me that I'm now at the middle. So I can still press my Ctrl T, hold down my shift to see if I go to resize. Going to yes, you will discover that when you go to this edge, it will snap in. That is to snap it that yes, you've gotten to this edge. So I have this. Now this is what they are going to do for me. I would like you to duplicate all these images, this shape. Then you are going to place images inside this shape, like in form of power clip in CorelDRAW, but in Photoshop we call it clip mask. In Photoshop we call it clip mask. So you're going to clip images in this now. This is exactly what I mean. So what you're going to do is you go over to your browser. Go over to your browser. Just go over to your browser, any of your browser. Let's say Unsplash. Let's use this on Unsplash. Let's see if we can find any image. Just find any image from your Unsplash. Okay. Go over to this image in your Unsplash. Okay, let's select the first image. You download it. Oh, this one has to be premium. Oh, let's look for another free. Let's look. Let's look for a free one. This one is locked. I have to pay. We don't pay. So now, why is everything locked? Locked as well. Okay. So let's see this. Okay, free download. I can download this one. So I was looking for a free download. Let's leave this at my download. So I may not be able to just keep downloading some. This is my first image that I've downloaded. Just look at just a random image. Let's download. I'll just download this one. Let's say let's say free download. Okay, let's download this one. Free download. Okay, let's download this one. Let's download this one. So let's download this one. Save now. So what you're going to do for me now is this. Now I'm going to bring back this image here. So how do I present this image from this place? What I'm going to do is I'll go over to my downloader where I have this image. I'll click and drag it into this canvas. I'll allow it going to be at free transform, whereby I'm going to resize. This is the first way of how to place image from your document or from your downloaded page or from your downloaded folder into your Photoshop. This is the first way to do that. This is the first way you can do that now. You can see, or better still, there's another way to do that now. If you don't want to do that now, you can still go over to your file, go over to your place embedded, click on place embedded. Now you go over to the folder where you downloaded it. I have my download, so I have this is my, I'll now say place. It comes up as well. But what thing I love about this one is this. Now if you say place embedded, click on place embedded, you can select all of them once. You say one, select this one, and you hold down your shift. If you hold down your control, you'll be selecting them. Okay, I think you can. Okay, it can't even allow you to select them. Okay, I think it's one after the other. I thought you can select them all one after the other. So you select this one. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clip mask this into this. I'm going to power clip it into this shape. How do I do it now? I'll go over to this. I'll right click on that shape. I'll look for create a clipping mask. I'll click on it. I have this shape already, so I have it here already. When you click on this shape, you see this is my shape. I can resize this my shape. I can press my Ctrl T to resize my shape. I can resize my shape like this. I can resize my shape so that it's going to fit into that place. So I've done this one. So the next thing I'm going to do is you are going to create another shape. Repeat this shape again. Let me just do one thing for you now. Look close at what I'm doing. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate these two things that I did here, and I'm only going to change the pictures inside. So how do I duplicate it? I can press Ctrl J to duplicate, or I'll hold down my Alt. We'll come to this place where the image are. Remember, I've selected the rectangle and the image. Both of them, I must select both of them before I do such a thing. I'll hold down my Alt and click and drag. I have it here already. So I've gotten the duplicated one. Or I can just say select this one and press Ctrl J. Then when I press Ctrl J, you will not, but before you move it here, I will advise you before you start moving, because the new one that you just duplicated is on top of the old one. So, but the first thing I advise is that before you start moving it, hold down Control before you move it. Why do you need to hold down Control? Now let me show you something. Now, assuming you do not hold down your Control, and you have gotten this duplicate. If you click on it, there is possibility that one of them might be left behind. Yes, both of them went through, but there's possibility that maybe I just forgot, and maybe I just came around. I still click on this. I only select one of them. So you see, that's the problem. So that's why I must be careful. I must select both of them. Okay, I can select both of them. I may not hold down my Control. Then I can delete this one. Just click on backspace, or you click on delete. It goes up. Then I'm going to place another image in it. So this is your task. So the task you're going to do is you place another image. Let's place another image. I'll bring up my second image. Yeah, this is my second image. So how do I place it now? Remember, I did one thing. I did my right click. And say create a clipping mask. It goes in. Or another way to do that now, I can hold down my Alt. Comes in between this layer and this layer, these two layers. You hold down your Alt, come in between them, just come in between. You see this arrow that says clip, you just click on it, it goes in. That's the second one. So you can continue. Remember, you can continue. So select both of them. Let's look at this. Let's let's look at something like this. So you have to click mask different images inside this one. So let's look at this one. Let's change this image to place embedded, place embedded. Then let's look at something like this. So I'm going to, this is the image. I'm going to, okay, I have this image. I didn't remove the old one. Let's see what is going to happen. Assuming I say click mask, the new one, okay, I think it's on top of the old one already. So I just quietly change it. So I can remove it. I can just off it. I can leave it. So far it is not affected. I can even delete it from there. So the new one is up already. Let's look at the final one that I have here now. The final one, I'm going to say the same thing. Place embedded. Sorry. I'm going to say the same thing. Place embedded. Click on place embedded. And look at this. So this is what I have here now. Then click mask. Alt. I'm holding down my alt to click mask. I just click mask this. I can delete this former one. What if I mistakenly remove this? And assuming I want to remove this click mask, just hold down the same alt. You see the cancel button. It goes off. Hold down alt again. It comes up again. It's just, sorry, give me a minute. Let me take some water. Okay, so I'm back. So this is exactly what you're going to do. Maybe for the final part, just right click on this one and you draw a particular circle. This circle, I want it to be equal, and the only way you can make the circle to be equal is to hold down your shift, click circle at the middle, maybe the circle at the middle, maybe this circle, you can just give it an outline color. Let's just say, let's leave it at white. Let's leave the outline color at white. Let's leave it white. Then this outline color, let's look at the property size of this outline color. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay. Then let's place an image in this and that. Place embedded. Let's place an image. Let's look for an image that we're going to place. Okay, let's place this image. So okay, so let's place this random image. So this is exactly what I have. So I just wanted to create something like this. So this is your task. So next time, we'll continue next time. That's all. Just make sure that this image, you can just pick random image from somewhere else. But your own task, make sure that this covers the whole canvas. You know, I did mine and I'm having spaces here, or better still, this little space that is here, make sure you cover it by creating another shape, another rectangle here, create another rectangle. Even if it's out of the canvas, no problem. Just make sure that the shape that you are going to create, this is the shape. If it is out of the canvas, it's not a problem. Just go and gather another image. Let's look for another image that we can use. Do I have extra image? Okay, let's say do I have anyone? Okay, let's pick this one, and let's pick this one and drag it inside this place. So let's say, so I have something like this. Then I'm going to click mask this inside this place. So let's see this. So let's see. So that's it. So I have something like this. So you're going to fill up your own canvas. Like this. Make sure that yours is like something like this. So that's it. So that's it. I have something like this. So that's all for now. We are going to continue next time to explain everything about these layers, selection, and how everything works. Don't be scared. With time, you get used to how all this really works. They are not too difficult. They are not challenging. It's just a matter of time. So see you the next one. Please just look at this channel, Brain Doctors Academy or Brain Doctors Digitals. Please just check it out and subscribe. I would like you to subscribe. Click on notification as well, so that next time you will know when I send my new videos. Thank you. See you. Peace out.